Happy day 3, episode 3 of Vlogmas. It is a rainy, gloomy Saturday, and I am headed to the Historical Society where I work part-time once a week to get my video that was before this video exported and uploaded, and then I'm going to do a little bit of archives work, and then we're going to go into full-blown bookish stuff because I have books to pick up from Barnes & Noble. I want to go to a used bookstore near the Historical Society where I work, and we're just gonna do some bookshop hopping, and I'm going to be sharing my December TBR. Well, first I need to figure out my December TBR, or at least as many books as I can fit into my 9-book goal for this month, because I need to read 9 books to finish my 2022 goal of 45 books. And I'm about 9 books behind, but I'm currently reading 2 books. I'm listening to an audiobook, The Bookshop on the Corner by Jenny Colgan, which I'm going to listen to now on the way to work, and I'm also reading The Cloisters by, I can't think the name. I want to say Katy Hayes. That's probably not the right author at all, but we'll talk about that more later. But I'm gonna go get a coffee, head to work, and then I will check in with you guys later. Chapter 16. The sun. Thought I'd check in because the sun is literally coming through the window. It's been such a rainy morning that I am very excited to see sunshine. Feels nice. I'm currently working away at my archives project. I am working on finishing a finding aid for a collection, and I'm doing some historical research currently to write up a short historical section for the finding aid, just a brief, quick and dirty, what is the creator, when did they begin, you know, stuff like that, to get that kind of sorted. I think that's the only thing that's going to be taking most of my time right now, and hoping to get that finished before I leave around 4 o'clock. I also need to eat lunch and get my video published. All right. Apparently it's, well, now I thought it was done. The HD is still processing, which usually takes a while, but when that gets done, then I can publish it. But that is it for now. I thought I'd update you. I'm going to get some cute little ornaments down in the gift shop, and I will show them to you when I have them and leave, and then I'm gonna go book shopping. I'm very eager to finish work today so I can go do my bookshop hopping. So, see you guys then. Look at all the books in my bag. I owe you guys a haul. Oop, there was my light. Like I was saying, I owe you guys a haul. Plus there's more books. You can't. I got some more books from Amanda too. Oh my god. You can call me the bookmobile. Terrible lighting, but I am waiting to get pickup from Chipotle because that is what we're doing for dinner tonight, and I decided to stop at HomeSense because it's in the parking lot right next to it, and I have like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes till the food's ready. So, and I've never been in a HomeSense before, which will be interesting, so I thought I'd pop in. So let me go pop in. You guys, I've gotten stuck in HomeSense. Why do I have things? Why do I want to buy things? I need to go pick up my food. Book haul, but that's not everything because I also have 3 books that I'm borrowing from my friend Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. I feel very lucky and fortunate to be able to have found this book, The Book of Life, book 3 of the All Souls trilogy for like almost half off the retail. I'm definitely going to read this in the new year, so this is definitely not like these other ones, which are all Christmas books. But these 2 I ordered from Barnes & Noble and picked up, and I thought the covers were super cute. I may have possibly chosen these books purely on the cover and maybe didn't even read the plot until now, but I swear I read the plot like before when I saw these, when these came out, because I saw these at Barnes & Noble's like a few months ago before it was Christmas season, and I was like, those are so cute, I need to read them this season, and I committed and stuck to my word and got these 2. And then I also got these 2 from the used bookstore where I got the Book of Life, and I just wanted to find some like little cozy tiny books, and they're definitely cheaper. So I found, I found On Christmas Morning, which has 2 stories, but they both relate to each other. One of the stories takes place in 1925, so we have a little historical romance going on, and then there's one that takes place in modern day, and they somehow like relate and connect, which I think is so cool and definitely my style, and I feel like this would be really cute for Christmas, like the week of Christmas. And then this one, Candy Cane Murder, is also a book with like multiple stories. I think there's like 3 like murder stories involving candy canes, and I think that's so cute and thought that would be fun to also pick up because there's like they're like short, there's 3 individual stories, so it's like quick reads, I feel like, and they also have recipes in here, which I feel like is adorable. Lemon whippersnappers, and I feel like this is just a very Christmassy vibe. So those are definitely like Christmas theme books I want to read. Then I got 3 books that I'm borrowing from Amanda this time next year. I definitely want to read this season, ending of 2022 into the new year, because it takes place around New Year's Eve and the New Year's. And then I also got Small Angels and Hide, which I'm definitely going to be reading next year, not anytime soon. This is a horror book and this is a gothic novel, and I'm going to hold off on those for the new year. But these tentatively is my TBR, and I'll talk about them more later. Happy next day, happy December 4th. It's Sunday, and in the mornings on Sunday, I've been developing a new Sunday routine where I just get stuff done. Like I load the laundry, I do my morning routine, George and I got groceries, and I'm gonna do a little bit of cleaning this afternoon. But now I'm just going to sit and do a little reading. Currently reading The Cloisters by Katy Hayes. I think I guessed that was the author's name yesterday, so Cheers to me for remembering. I am not very far in this book. I'm on page 47, a very anticipated read for me that I got from Book of the Month in November, so it's definitely not Christmassy or like holiday-ish, but it was on my November TBR and I want to finish it before I dive into Christmas books. So this is kind of like the end of my fall list of books to read, and then I'm gonna move into all of my December holiday reads, which I will share later today. I'll do my December TBR in a little bit, but until then, I'm going to do a little bit of reading, probably then clean the bathroom and make some lunch and just relax. The cute little ornaments I got from our Historical Society gift shop. They were $1 each. I think they're so cute to put on the tree, and like these could be good like through winter through the winter season. And I got this cute little mug from HomeSense when I was being basically hypnotized into buying things. Super cute. I love the little characters on it. All right, friends, I have made myself a cup of tea and I have all of my books that I want to read this month, and then some. This is not all of them, and then some. Okay, but first I think I'm gonna do just a slight reading update. It's been a few weeks since I've really shared on my channel what I've been reading and my thoughts about the books that I've been reading. So during the month of November, I read and finished Hester by Laurie, Lico, Albanese, and I would say I really liked this book. I didn't absolutely love it. It wasn't like amazing, and I think partly due to the writing and like the lack of depth of the characters, but I loved the kind of environment that the author crafted and the ambiance it provided for me. And I will say that I did have emotions whilst reading this book. Like I felt like my heart was aching like when I got dumped in middle school, like the physical sense of heartbreak that if you've ever been in a breakup or had your heart broken, like you know what that feeling is. So that book evoked those physical sensations and emotions in me, which I'll definitely give it to that. I think that kind of adds a few more points for this rating. But I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. But it probably could be a 4.5 given the emotional impact it had on me. The next book I read in November was White Horse by Erika T. Wurth, which is a supernatural horror. It's classified as horror, but there's also paranormal elements in it, and I was really interested to see how those elements would play out along with like the family dynamics. And I was also interested in how the family dynamics were going to play out in this book, because the story is about an Indigenous woman named Carrie who is like a punk rocker, loves Stephen King, and her mother abandoned her when she was 2 days old, when she was very young, so she has no memory of her mother. She basically hates her mother and has lived and grown up with her father and really loves and supports her father, who currently has some kind of condition after getting an accident. And the plot kicks off when Carrie's cousin presents her with an old bracelet that used to belong to her mother, and since she came in contact with this bracelet and touched it, it started essentially bringing up paranormal things, and Carrie sees the ghost of her mother and is trying to figure out why her mother is haunting her, essentially, which also goes into the whole investigation into how her mother died, because she abandoned her daughter, but then she ended up dead and nobody really knew why. I really love this book. I gave it a 5 stars. I think it was a great use of paranormal and supernatural and sharing the background and story and history of Native Americans, Indigenous people in the Americas, and the treatment or mistreatment they have experienced over the course of our history. I really enjoyed reading from the perspective of an Indigenous person. The horror elements also weren't that kind of, you know, intense. It was very subtle, so if you are not sure if you want to read this book because it is classified as horror, I won't say that it's like a lot of horror. I liked how it was done, but I enjoy thrillers, I guess, more so than actual horrors. All right, moving out of November into December, currently reading 2 books that are part of my 9-book December TBR, and they include The Bookshop on the Corner by Jenny Colgan, which I am listening to on audiobook. This is a book I'm reading for Morgan Long's book club inside her Patreon. So I've never read anything by Jenny Colgan. I know she has a lot of books, and she also has a Christmas book called The Christmas Bookshop or something of that nature that I have not read. That probably would have been a good first Jenny Colgan book to read during the holiday season, but oh well. I'm reading the other one and I think it's still kind of cozy and inviting, and it takes place in like northern England and Scotland, about this girl Nina who is, I think she's a librarian, or she works in a library, and her library is basically being downsized and the funding is getting cut, and she essentially loses her job and kind of has to figure out what she wants to do next after losing her job. And she decides to buy a big van and turn it into a bookmobile. Basically, this book is a kind of love letter to book lovers out there, and as a archivist and person who has worked in a library and worked with books, I am definitely appreciating the bookishness of the book, and I think that's really cozy and timely for the season. I think about halfway through that book, and I'm mostly been listening to it on my way to work and at home when I've been unpacking and cleaning and stuff. So I'm hoping to get that book finished this week because I have lots more books to read. The other book I'm currently actually reading is The Cloisters, and this book I've talked about in previous videos, but it's about a museum worker who falls in line with these researchers, curators who are doing an exhibit on tarot and divinity, and she comes into contact with these old 15th century tarot cards. So it blends my interest of the museum history world with tarot, and there's also a lot of drama within this group of the people that she's working with. I'm really liking this book so far. I've read a good amount today. I'm on page 122 and it started getting kind of juicy. Like, I haven't read The Secret History, but I feel like it's similar to that, or just like dark academia. Like, I read The Maidens, which was very like academia, college, and since this takes place in a museum, in the museum world, in the field, and has those elements of like academia and literature and history, it has those vibes, but there's also this whole other aspect of it with the relationships and the main character and her story coming from the Midwest into New York City for the first time at this job that she is like so excited about, but then she finds herself in these toxic relationships trying to navigate them, and I don't know what else happens. I think this is classified also as a mystery. Is there murder? Very possible, but it like brings all of those interesting things that I love so much into one book, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So let's hope it lives up to his expectations of mine. So at this point, I've reached low level effort mode, and I'm just going to be reading the summary on the back of the book. First book that I'm excited to read is All I Want for Christmas by Maggie Knox. I read her book, The Holiday Swap, last year, and I really loved that book. It was so fun, cute, a great like romance to read during the holiday season, and this book is her next book that just came out this year, so I'm really excited to read another holiday book by her. True Love wasn't on their holiday wish list. So the plot for this sounds really cute. It's about two individuals who have to kind of work together and fake a relationship together, and I just love a good like enemies to lover plot line. So throw that in with like a reality TV show, Nashville, music, Christmas. I think this is going to be a cute and fun read. Meet Me Under the Mistletoe by Jenny Bayliss. I know Jenny Bayliss has a few other books. I've never read anything by her, so this is the first book of hers that I'll be reading, and this also just came out this year. A city bookshop owner heads to the English countryside for a holiday reunion, only to face her childhood enemies. So I have another enemies to lover plot book, apparently. So our main character, Laurie, is a bookshop owner, so she has a secondhand bookshop in London, which I think is so cute. So give me books, Christmas, and all of that. I'm kind of already set on it. So I guess Laurie is invited to a reunion by her friends and runs into a childhood enemy, and you can probably guess what comes from there. The two next books are the ones on Christmas morning, which is the two stories that are connected with the like historical fiction one called Deck the Halls. In 1925, the wealthy William Tronier becomes smitten with the lovely but penniless Lillian Pickard. Not one to give up easily, William pursues Lillian even though she does everything in her power to resist falling in love with a man from a completely different social class. As Christmas descends on the picturesque town of Cary, North Carolina, William plans to make Lillian a proposal she can't refuse. And that one is by Debby, Mayne. And then there's another story called 'Tis the Season by Trish Perry. And that one, when Nikki Tronier, so she has the same last name that I'm probably butchering as William from the other story, when she moves back home to Cary, North Carolina, she plans to fulfill a lifelong dream and buy back the family home built by her great-grandfather for his bride. But before she's able to make an offer, someone else buys the house. Just as she's preparing for a fight, Nikki meets the handsome new owner, Drew Cornell, who wants her help restoring the home to its historic beauty in time for Christmas. So it looks like we have a descendant of the gentleman from the first story. Probably takes place around the same house, and I just think that is so cute. So I'm excited to read this heartwarming, two heartwarming stories. And the other one is Candy Cane Murder with three different stories. Candy Cane Murder by JoAnne Fluke, The Dangers of Candy Canes by Laura Levine, and Candy Canes of Christmas Past by Leslie Muir. And I think these are all about murders that involve candy canes. So Candy Cane Murder, when a trail of candy canes leads to a corpse outfitted in a Santa suit on a snowy bank, Hannah Swenson sets out to discover who killed Kris Kringle. The next one is The Dangers of Candy Canes. A wealthy suburbanite takes a lethal tumble off his roof while installing a giant candy cane. Santa Claus vibes. Now it's up to Jane Austen, Jaine, to sift through a long list of scheming neighbors with dirty secrets in their stockings to expose a murderer. And Candy Canes of Christmas Past. Lucy Stone must learn the mystery of a glass candy cane that was found smashed to bits by a corpse's body to unlock the doors of Christmas Past and find a killer who got away with murder. And there's also 10 holiday recipes in here, which I think is so cute. Linda's pecan shortbread cookies. So precious. And then the next book I want to read towards New Year's is This Time Next Year by Sophie Cousens? Their lives began together, but their worlds couldn't be more different. After years of misconnections, they're about to meet again. So our main character, Minnie Cooper, thinks that her New Year's birthday is unlucky, and that's all because of Quinn Hamilton, a man who she's never met. And their mothers gave birth to them at the same hospital, both on New Year's Day, but I guess Quinn was born first, so he won the cash prize for being the first baby born in London in 1990, also my birth year. So it's kind of like you grow up with knowing somebody who's like your enemy like for life, and somehow they cross paths again, and we'll see what happens. So the next book that I want to read, which I think is number 8 on my list, is a book of the month book, and I haven't received it yet, so it's currently in the mail. But it's Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochran. And this is another romance book because I just love, I mean, I like a good romance any time of the year, but I just want to read all the romances like during Christmas. I just love the magic and joy and serotonin release when I watch a good love story with Christmas like in the background. Makes me so happy. But this book sounds cute because it's about a girl named Ellie who meets a cute woman at a bookstore, and they, I guess, have like a one-night stand, and Ellie gets her heart broken and is like, writes her off, never thinks she'll never find this woman again. It's kind of over. And then fast forward where she's working at a local coffee shop and the landlord proposes a shocking drunken plan to basically fake a marriage so Andrew, the landlord, can get his inheritance and alleviate Ellie's financial woes. But plot twist, the landlord's sister is the woman that Ellie ran into and had a falling out with, basically. And then again, their paths cross again. Ellie must choose between the safety of a fake relationship and the risk of something real. So she's in a fake marriage and then actually likes this other person who is the sister of the person she's married to. So what can go wrong? I think that'll be really cute and fun to read also for this month. And I don't have a 9th book, so usually I'm a mood reader, so I'll just kind of wing it, and if a book pops up at some point, I'll read it. So we'll see what I come up with. You guys will have to follow along with Vlogmas and through all the rest of my videos, because I don't know, I feel like I can't read any more Christmas books because I won't have enough time to. I feel like I want to get an audiobook or like a graphic, or I could read a comic book or a graphic novel. That might be good too. I don't have any Christmas graphic novels. Let me know if there's any like audiobooks or like Christmassy graphic novels or like children's literature, like short, kind of easy to digest books that I could read possibly in like 24 hours. I really want to do a 24-hour Christmas readathon, and I know I need to have shorter books in order to make that interesting. So I'd love to add an audiobook, a novel, one of these novels, and maybe a shorter book like a graphic novel or like a children's literature book to read. So leave your recommendations down below. Help me out. All right, friends, those are all the books I have read, I'm currently reading, I'm going to be reading. Hope you enjoyed our catch up of books because it's been a while, and I'm excited to share more about my thoughts on the books that I'm reading and all these books that I'm reading. So make sure that you are subscribed, keeping tabs on all the videos coming out for Vlogmas, because there's a lot of reading that needs to be done. So leave a book recommendation down below, and or let me know what you're currently reading during this month, or if there's any Christmassy holiday books that you're reading that you want to share. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed episode 3, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.